Hi, welcome back. We are going to talk about the backside bottom turn this time. If you missed the first video, this is the second video. The first video was about the front side bottom turn. So just, if you missed it, just go there and watch that one before you watch this one, okay? Today we're going to talk again how to use the SUP skate or the surf skate in this case, to improve and to maximize your performance out in the water. I've been using the surf skate for many years with my students at Mauka Lodge, and I've been using it, and we've been seeing the difference it makes, and before and after some practice with the surf skate in what they're doing in the water. So this is what I bring you, basically my experience here working with subsurfers throughout these years, and I'm putting it now in video so that hopefully you can take some of these tips and work on your own sub skills. Okay, okay, let's start this one. So like on the previous video, here I want you to understand how we plan the pins on the floor, okay, on the ground. Basically there's two lines. The top line will be the top of the wave, and the bottom line will be the bottom of the wave. This is quite important so you understand this structure and you can also replicate that. Okay, where you're positioning your pins is crucial for the exercise we're going to be developing. Okay. All right, now here, first thing I want you to focus on, it's going to be your paddle. So are we going to use the paddle on the side we are surfing? Are we keeping it on the opposite side? What is the best? There is no best. In effect, you can use it on both sides. Personally, I think that if you use it always on the side you're turning to, especially in backside, you're gonna use it on the side of the wave, it's gonna help you in different ways. First of all, it's gonna help you because it's gonna help the rotation of your upper body. Once you're transitioning your paddle from one side to the other, it will open your chest towards where you're turning, and this will actually facilitate the rotation not only from the shoulders, but the connection that is between the shoulders and the hips, and how the energy is transferred and the weight is transferred from toes to heels. So it starts with the transitioning of the paddle. I really recommend you start using it that way. All right. Also, the other benefit is, in case you kind of lose your balance, you can always kind of recover using the paddle or using the blade, because you can always, as a last resort, to lean on your paddle and recover. Okay, if you lean too much, if you lose your balance, the paddle is on that side and it can help you to recover. Okay, and also it will help you as a point of pivoting around. Okay, again, like we mentioned on the first video, if the paddle is there, it's going to be your pivot point at the bottom of your bottom turn. Okay, so as you can see, the transition here is done. My top hand, I release my top hand from the handle, I grab below or underneath my lower hand, and then my lower hand that now is my top hand is going to slide up through the shaft and is going to look for that handle. Okay, why do I slide my hand through the shaft? Because if I do that, I don't need to be looking at my hands when I switch them, because my hand is always in contact with the shaft throughout the movement, and therefore you're not gonna miss the top when you're transitioning. You can be focused on your turn and where you actually want to go. All right, now that we transition the paddle to the opposite side, we want to flex our knees, we want to compress our body, and this is where most of the mistakes start on the bottom turn, especially on the backside bottom turn. Is, as you can see here, you're putting too much pressure on your back foot to turn that board. Okay, what's gonna happen basically is that you're going to be pushing too much on your tail to turn the board. The board will turn, but it will actually pivot more than turning through the rail. So if you press too much on your bonnet, on your back feet, you're gonna sink too much that tail. That tail is going underwater and it's creating resistance by the water flowing through the board, and you're gonna be pivoting that board instead of really turning it on rail. So I want you to leave more weight to the front leg. Actually, your center of mass should be over your front leg, as you can see here. And of course, you can move your back foot closer to the rail, but your center of mass should be more to the front leg, okay? And if you watch here, professional subsurfer Wellington Reis from Brazil, you can see clearly how much weight at the bottom of the turn he has over his front leg, okay? If so far you found this content useful, just give this video a like, subscribe the channel and activate the notification bell to get updated every time we release a new video. So, what's next? Guys, we want to make sure that once we transition that paddle to the other side, we hold it with a wide grip. You want a wide grip, again, because you want your shoulders to be open, strong, so that you can make good rotation of your upper body into the turn. Okay, so make sure you have a wide grip. Also to make sure that the paddle is not touching the water too much. You want a solid structure holding that shaft, and also you want to make sure at this point, at the beginning of the bottom turn, you really start, and at this point you really start engaging your inner rail. Okay, so the weight is over your heels and you're pressing the rail, and that's how you actually start that bottom turn. Okay, finally, and not less important, where are you looking? Okay, again, like when you're doing it front side, when you're doing back side, it's also super important that at the bottom of your bottom turn, your eyes are looking over your shoulder and you're looking exactly where you want to go next, which should be the top of the wave, okay? So make sure that you compress, look over the shoulder, and lean over your heels, okay? Let the board turn, and then back.